You are also partially right. Second arm, after hitting Odisha, then it comes up. True. Yes, call the list.
Item number 1.
Last order passed. It was the last order passed by this Honorable Court on 5/5/2025, my lords. We were to file a corrected paper book, my lords. We filed it. A copy has been served on my learned friend.
Yes.
My lords. It was
You are ready to proceed today?
I am ready. My lords.
So just passing it over for a short while and then come back.
My lords.
Number 2.
May it please your lordships. Lordship,
Yes.
I've been informed and instructed to submit before your lordships that the appellants are here in your lordship are engaging another senior counsel in the matter, your lordship. Therefore, lordship, I pray a week's time, your lordship.
You are appearing for whom?
I'm the local counsel, your lordship, appellant.
You are changing your counsel.
Yes, your lordship, I've been informed by the appellant here in your lordship that they are changing another senior counsel. in
So
this
how
matter.
much time you want?
A week's time, your lordship.
No objection, my lord. I'm for the respondent.
Advocate on record for the appellant. Prays for adjournment on the ground that further to instructions of her client, senior counsel to argue the matter is being replaced by another. Paragraph. In that view of the matter, this appeal is adjourned till 30th June.
Much obliged, lordship.
Number 3.
This appeal and the connected application.
May it please your lordship.
Yes.
Lordship, in this matter, lordship, the notification issued by the government has been challenged by the petitioner here in lordship. Lordship, I'm having some personal difficulty. If I may take some time, lordship.
Personal difficulty in doing the matter
No, lordship, I have other...
today.
Today, and actually it's been ongoing, lordship, due to some personal matters, lordship. So I cannot really be prepared with the matter.
How much
just-
time you want?
Lordship, kindly, my lord, if 3 weeks is allowed, lordship.
3 weeks is too much, my
2
lord.
weeks, my lord.
Yes.
My lord, 1 week may be given, my lord. This is because last occasion also on the request of the ma'am. Next week, maybe. my lord.
She has some personal
Yes,
difficulty.
ma'am.
And she says she's unable to get ready.
My lord, yes. 2 weeks.
Considering you're for the state,
State, my lord.
Yes.
considering the personal difficulty of learned counsel for the state, comma, as represented, this writ petition is adjourned till 7 July.
Much obliged, lordship.
My lord. Highly obliged.
Second call. Item number...
We are also adding this, that considering also the urgency pleaded by learned counsel for the petitioners, comma, no further adjournment should be prayed for.
My lord.
Obliged, lord.
Highly obliged.
Second call. Item number 1.
Please. The matter at hand pertains to the appointment of magistrate first class in the subordinate district council courts.
Yes.
A few days before I start, I'll just give a brief backdrop what has led to the filing of this appeal. What had happened is, in the year 2019, there was an advertisement made by the district council for appointment of 3 judicial magistrates first class,
1990.
No,
1990.
2019,
2019.
The date of the advertisement was 6/11/2019. So, 3 posts were advertised. As against the 3 posts,
Yes.
a select list was published with 6 names.
Yes.
3 people, the top 3, they joined as against the 3 posts that were advertised.
First class magistrates.
First class magistrates,
Executive magistrates. Or
No,
judicial.
of the judicial magistrates of the district council courts. The date of the select list, would be relevant. It is 11/1/2021.
Yes.
So, the 3 posts that were advertised were filled up.
Yes.
There was a waiting list, on which 3 other names were there. So, sometime in October 2021,
Yes.
the district council thereafter writes to this honorable court on the administrative side, seeking approval to appoint another 3 magistrates, from that select list.
From the waiting list.
Lordships.
Yes.
And this honorable court on the administrative side, grants approval. And the 3 people are appointed as against the 3 posts.
Yes.
So, against that, there was a challenge that was laid, primarily on 2 grounds, that the number of posts that are advertised can only be filled up by a certain selection procedure. People who are in the waiting list, they cannot come in, and it cannot act as a subsequent select list for any other vacancies that may arise in the district council. That was the ground on which the primary challenge was there before the learned single judge. A few anomalies, have come to my notice, which may not be really pertinent for the purposes of adjudication of this appeal. But what is pretty shocking is that when the registrar of this honorable court was made a party to these proceedings, he's respondent number 3, in the writ petition as well as in this appeal. Now, this honorable court seems to have been represented, by the state councils. That your lordships would kindly appreciate. That may not be the correct thing to do at that stage. That's one. The second is, as your lordships are aware, that the propriety would otherwise demand, that once a decision, an administrative decision of this honorable court is put to challenge on the judicial side, it is usually placed before Honorable the Chief Justice to be decided, sitting in division bench. The learned single judge, however, took up the matter and recorded 3 findings. The learned single judge, based on the law, as it stands, and I'll take a lordships to the law, records 3 findings. The first finding is that deviation from the set rule, that number of posts advertised have to be only filled up, is possible under exceptional circumstances or an emergency. The second finding is, that the deviation from the set rule was because of COVID. And the third finding is, there was a policy decision taken for the purposes of making this deviation. Those 3 findings, my lords, would find in the paper book at page 299, paragraph 22 of the impugned judgment. If my lords have para 22, may I read para 22, my lords?
Page 299.
299, my lords. These are the findings of the court, my lords. If your lordships permit me, I'll read it.
Yes, please.
From an examination of the above noted decisions, what emerges is that such deviations are permissible when exceptional circumstances are prevalent or the same is resorted to meet an emergent situation. Further, it is also clear that such appointments would be permissible for clear and anticipated vacancies, but not future vacancies. This, my lords, is got from the Prem Singh judgment, which I'll take your lordships of the Honorable Supreme Court, my lords. In the case at hand, by applying the above conditions and contingencies, it can safely be held that the deviation from the advertisement was caused by events as narrated earlier, for which a considered policy decision was taken to address the situation as the same, and as such, the same calls for no interference. These are the findings, and of course, there is a fourth finding at page para 24, at page 299A. Apart from the discussions made here and above, another factor which deserves consideration is the fact that the respondents number 4, 5, and 6 are qualified candidates who have come through a selection process and have been discharging their duties for over 2 years now, and unseating them at this stage will surely not be in public interest. So these are the 4 findings that are recorded by the learned single judge. Now, my first ground of challenge is, my lords, the learned single judge, my lords, records a finding that there was a considered policy decision taken for the purposes of, my lord, meeting an emergent or an exceptional circumstance. If I may take your lordships to the letter which was written to by the district council before this honorable court seeking its approval to make appointments from the waiting list, my lords. Because that's where the entire thing emanates from, my lords. And that you, my lords, would find at page 71. Page 71 of the paper book. I'm sorry. This is a letter, my lords, dated the 19th of August 2021. If my lords have it, may I just read the letter, my lords?
Page
71, my lords, of the paper book. Well, may I just read this letter? This is addressed to the Registrar of the High Court of Meghalaya, Shillong. Subject is approval for appointment of vacant posts of Magistrate First Class Subordinate District Council Courts, Khasi Hills, to fill up the remaining sanctioned posts. Sir, Madam, in inviting a reference to your letter dated 4/3/2021 on the subject above, the Executive Committee has appointed Shri So-and-so, So-and-so, and So-and-so as Magistrate First Class Subordinate District Court, Shillong, who have also joined the said posts. However, it may be informed there are few more vacant posts of Magistrates First Class as per the current budget provision, and in view of the current situation in the state and country as a whole, it may not be conducive to hold fresh examination for filling up the said vacant posts. The Executive Committee has, for strengthening the functioning of the District Council Court, recommended to fill up the remaining vacant posts from the candidate waiting list. Moreover, there are many pending cases which require speedy trial, and the executive committee is also contemplating to make the district council functional in all district headquarters. That is so and so, so and so, so and so. Therefore, it is once again requested that to fill up the remaining vacant posts, the candidates in the waiting list notification as per so and so may, as a special consideration, be approved for appointment of magistrate first class as follows. So let's two things emanate from here, from a plain reading of this letter. A, my lords, there is no decision per se to appoint. What at all can be garnered is, my lords, there is a recommendation, or, my lords, there was a proposal rather, that appointments may be made.
Yes.
And, my lords, approval was sought from this Honorable Court on the administrative side. This, my lords, was responded to by this Honorable Court via its letter dated 25th October 2021, which my lords would find at page 74. If my lords have it, may I just place the letter? This is from the Registrar Judicial Service to the Secretary of the Executive Committee, KGDC. And, my lords, the subject is approval of appointment of magistrate first class upon the district council courts. It says, sir, with reference to the letter and subject cited above, I am directed to convey the approval of the Honorable High Court for appointment of 3 candidates from the waiting list as per notification number so-and-so dated the 11th of January 2021 to the post of magistrate first class subordinate district council court in the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council Court, Shillong. Now, my first contention is, my lords, that the finding number 3 of the learned single judge saying, my lords, that there was a considered policy decision as would emanate from these 2 letters, my lords, is absolutely absent. There was no decision per se. At the most, it was a proposal. Proposal was placed before this Honorable Court, before, my lords, the registrar, and this letter came into being. So there is no decision per se that we have taken a policy decision to appoint it. Kindly tell us whether it's correct or wrong. That's not the case. So the finding of the learned single judge, my lords, at page 299, insofar as policy decision is concerned, is absolutely perverse. The second aspect of the matter is, my lords, what had happened is the stance taken by the district council in its defense was, they say, originally 5 posts were available. 5 vacant posts of magistrate first class were available. They chose to, my lords, advertise 3 posts. They said, my lords, 2 posts we kept it, we did not advertise it, because we were anticipating that there would be a 3rd post of a magistrate which would be sanctioned by the government. So on the date of the advertisement, we just chose to advertise 3 posts.
Yes.
My humble submission is, my lords, as your lordships are aware, what is the distinction between a clear vacancy, an anticipated vacancy, and a future vacancy? That would be very relevant for our purposes, my lords. Clear vacancy is the posts that were vacant. Anticipated vacancy, as your lordships have, my lords, held in numerous decisions, would be posts, my lords, which are likely to fall vacant in the next 1 year. Suppose somebody is already appointed as against a post, my lords, he is likely to retire, or that post is getting vacant because of some reason, my lords, that post comes. Admittedly here, my lords, on the date of the advertisement, there was no sanction for the 6th post. That is their admitted case. In paragraph 7 of that affidavit filed before this Honorable Court, and I'll take your lordships to that. Well, it's page 138, if my lords kindly have a look. Of my paper book, my lords. This is an additional affidavit filed on behalf of the respondent number 1, my lords, in sometime in September 2023, my lords.
So how many posts were vacant?
5 were vacant, my lords. They chose to advertise 3. Which brings me to the second limb of my submission, my lords. If 5 are vacant, I choose to advertise 3, my lords. At a subsequent period of time, I cannot take the plea that there is an emergent situation or an exceptional circumstance because of the prevailing situation in the country, or take the plea of COVID for filling up the posts from that select list and the waiting list of that particular select list which has already been published. Because at that first instance, my lord, I could have published all the 5 posts. I choose not to do it. So having chosen, my lords, not to advertise those posts, suddenly in 21 I cannot wake up and say this.
6th post was anticipated.
6th post was admittedly anticipated.
Anticipated to be sanctioned by the government.
My lords. So on the date of the advertisement, admittedly there is no sanction. So that is definitely a future vacancy. My lords, that would be clear from a reading of paragraph 6 of this affidavit at page 141. If my lords, may I just place para 6 and 7, my lords, I can very quickly read it if your lordships just permit me. This is filed by the District Council. What's the date of this affidavit? You don't have it? Just 2 paragraphs, my lords, I place. My lords, at page 141, my lords, may kindly have a look at paragraph 6. We've given a typed copy at page 142. There is, my lords, some issues of legibility on page 141. Paragraph 6 down below, my lords, may I just read? May I?
Yes.
That over the period till August 2021, a total of 9 judicial posts were sanctioned in the District Council as follows: 1 post of judge, 2 posts of additional judges, and 6 posts of magistrate first class. In the meantime, 2 of the magistrates first class were promoted to the posts of additional judge. As such, the working strength of the District Council was 1 judge, 2 additional judge, and 1 magistrate first class in the year 2018. And as such, 5 posts of magistrate first class were lying vacant. Then paragraph 7, my lords, they say that in November 9, 2019, the executive committee decided to fill up only 3 posts of magistrate first class out of the 5 vacant posts of magistrate first class. Accordingly, the advertisement was issued on the 6th of November 2019 for filling up of the 3 posts of magistrate first class subordinate District Council Court, so and so. So, my lords, on the date of the advertisement, admittedly there were 5 posts vacant. You choose to advertise 3. You appoint the 3, and then, my lords, you make a recommendation or a application, a proposal rather, before this honorable court on the administrative side that kindly grant me approval to appoint another 3. Admittedly, my lords, the 6th post was not even available on the date of the advertisement. That, my lords, would find in the impugned judgment. At page 284, my lords, there's a finding, the learned single judge, my lords, notes this.
Yes.
My lords, the last line of paragraph 6, if my lords kindly have a look. The proposed one post of magistrate first class he submits was thereafter sanctioned by letter dated 19/8/2021. Advertisement, my lords, was on 6/11/19. The sanction came in 2021. So this definitely, my lords, was a future vacancy. $284. Well, your lordships are well aware of the law on this. If your lordships permit, my lords, I can place the law.
Yes.
Two judgments, my lords. One is Prem Singh and the other is Arup Das, which emanated from the Guwahati High Court. I'll place Arup Das
But
first.
who are your clients?
Well, we were people who had participated in the selection process. Of course, we were unsuccessful. Our case is, my lords, that had these posts been re-advertised, we would have participated in the process, my lords. In general, everybody would have participated and we would have, my lords, stood a chance of being selected. My case is, my lords, that this process would come to an end with the appointment of the three magistrate first class. The three posts or otherwise, two or three, whatever, in whichever manner they advertised, had it been advertised, all of us would have stood an opportunity of again sitting for the exams and, well, it's participating in it. By filling up those posts from the waiting list, what it essentially does is, my lords, everybody is given a complete go by.
My lord, if I may just...
No, 1 minute. We'll call up. Was there any life of the panel?
My lords, they had ideally, my lords, as your lordships are aware, the life of a panel, my lords, is 1 year from the date of publication.
Yes.
It was extended by 2 months on, I'll just give the date, 6/12/2021, my lords. It was extended up to 31/3/2022.
Six, 12.
6/12/2021. It was extended up to, my lords, 31/3/2022. What I'm submitting before your lordships is the moment the three people who were in the top 3 select list, my lords, had been appointed and they had joined the post, this select list, my lords, as the law stands, would stand exhausted. So whether, my lords, it is extended or not would not be of much consideration for your lordships because the number of posts advertised is already filled up. So, my lords, the only exception that your lordships have carved out is that there must be, my lords, exceptional circumstances under which there may be deviation by the state. Number 2, my lords, it's in the case of an emergency. And number 3, my lords, they say there should be a policy decision that should be taken that the deviation must be made. If your lordship permit, my lords, I'll just place the law. In the list of books?
No, but even if you succeed,
My lords,
those who are working from 2021, the last reason
my lords.
given by the learned judge. Now, what is to be done with them? There are no other vacancies now?
At this moment, no.
My lord, there are vacancies. That's what I was trying to submit, my lord. My lord, the petitioner, my lord, initially there were 2 petitioners, my lord. They joined together to challenge, my lord. Both of them, they participated in the recruitment, in the...
No, now there are...
now there are still vacancies, my lord.
how many appellants are there?
Right now, there's one appellant before your lordships.
Right, only one appellant is before your lordship, my lord. So we proposed before the learned single bench also that we'll advertise and, my lord, he'll be allowed to participate. Even if he is over age, we'll give that much concession, my lord. He can participate, my lord. Because in that round of selection process, he participated, my lord. My lord,
Others
only,
have not come to court.
The other petitioner has not come before your lordships. There are 2 petitioners before the learned single judge. One of them has preferred an appeal.
And the other has given up.
others accepted the learned single
We
judge.
don't know, Melons, what is the arrangement. I don't have instructions.
How many posts are vacant now?
My lord, what I was instructed last month, there are 2 posts were vacant, my lord. On that updated step, but minimum 1 post is definitely vacant, my lord. If somebody is promoted, most probably there will be 2 available posts, my lord. Because this is a feeder post, my lord. They gradually are promoted to additional judge, some are promoted to judge, my lord. So at the bottom, the vacancies arise, my lord, from time to time.
Any are anticipated in the future?
My last instruction which I had, my lord, there are 2 posts available. We are ready to advertise that, my lord. And he can be allowed to participate. Even if he is overage, my lord, there is age limit of 35 years. If he is overage, then also, if lordship permits us, we will condone the age, my lord, and allow him to participate, my lord.
Well, it's with all due respect. It's not only a question of one petitioner coming for your lordships. It's all young aspirants, my lords, of people who were otherwise eligible for the post. Merely because, my lords, these 3 posts have been filled up from the waiting list, everybody else, my lords, could not even have a chance to participate in these examinations. And especially, my lords, when it concerns the judiciary, and that's for some strange reasons, my lords, those 2 letters are pointed out, have also come in.
My lord, your lordships,
Whether, my lords, your lordships would kindly give that a consideration as well. Because it's not only a case of, my lords, one person not succeeding. It's a case, my lords, where 3 posts are basically filled up by an absolute illegal process. And whether, my lords, the question that the finding at number 4, my lords, which also, my lords, was something that was bothering us, is whether somebody, my lords, can be allowed to enjoy the fruits of something, my lords, which may not have the sanctity of law.
No, but you tell me that as waiting list,
My lords,
is it only to be availed of when somebody does not, an appointed person does not join duty?
does not join or
Gives it up.
gives it up.
Or it can...
It does not vest any independent right on the person in the
or
waiting list
it
for
can
appointment.
also be utilized for the purpose of filling up any vacancy which might arise.
No, my
by,
lords. The law is settled on that.
By creation or
Otherwise.
by otherwise, no.
No, my lords. That's the law. That's why I said, my lord, 2 judgments, Prem Singh and Arup Das. Honorable Supreme Court reiterates both these positions.
My lord, the plea we have taken, my lord, that was the peak of COVID period, my lord. And that is what compelled us to...
That plea would not be available to them, my lords, because on the date of the advertisement, those posts were available to them. They were vacant. They chose not to advertise this post. Having chosen not to advertise this post, my lords, at a subsequent period of time, I cannot take the plea of a pandemic and say that I need to fill up these posts from the waiting list. Had it been otherwise, my lords, that at that point of time those posts were not available, came to be available, maybe that plea was available to the district council. They are not giving any explanation as to why at the initial stage, my lords, 2 vacant posts were not advertised in the first place.
And my lord, kindly appreciate one aspect, my lord. He is a candidate who participated in the process, my lord, and was not successful. It is not a case that somebody who subsequently acquired qualification, my lord. Well, his
No,
case,
that is like
he wants a second advertisement to participate
today,
again, my lord.
Today in 2025 I'm unsuccessful. 2026 I will appear again for other posts.
My lord. But my lord, how far the
Because
law
there is no
recognizes
embargo,
the
my lords, that
second-
if I
second-
failed in the first attempt, I cannot send it in the second attempt.
3
But
filled up
My lord,
means that the subject matter of the selection is 3.
at that point of
I
time,
do not qualify.
my lord.
Then according to Mr. Paul's submission, when 2 are sought to be filled up, then it's a new...
It has to be a new,
recruitment.
fresh selection process.
So, my lord, to address his grievance is that he wants to participate again, my lord. To address that grievance, my lord, to disturb judicial officers who are there
And
serving for 3.5
as
years.
far as the 6th is concerned,
My lord.
it is against a non-existing post. It was not existing at that point of time.
At the date of the advertisement, it's non-existent.
So these are roughly the grounds.
But my lord, to cut it short, my lord, to address the grievance of the petitioner also,
So
we have,
you find out how many vacant posts are there.
my lord.
And come back, please come back tomorrow so that we remember everything and finish
Yes,
it up.
Kindly grant me 2 days time, my lord.
No, for 2 weeks, what you
2 days, my lord.
Day after tomorrow?
Thursday, it can, my lord. Today is Monday.
Please, how many posts are vacant?
My lord.
Like, I will be very happy if 3 are vacant. Because
Only one petitioner, my lord, he has come before the court, my lord. So we are ready to accommodate
no. What he was deprived of.
a chance to reappear in the exam, my lord.
No.
3.
3 were advertised for.
My lord.
2 was kind of in his bag that I can appear again and qualify.
My lord.
And the 6th one, the 3rd one,
My lord.
was subsequently created, also filled up from the
My lord.
waiting list.
My lord.
So 3 were filled up.
My lord.
So his expectation is can be for 3 only.
So he has to rank 1, 2, 3 between 1 to 3.
I may not be at serial number 1. I may not
So
be at
he
serial
will
number
be-
2. I would have been up at 3.
He will be in the same position
where he was.
he was, where if and when after filling up of those 3 posts initial,
My lord.
there was a fresh advertisement,
My lord.
a fresh selection process.
My lord.
So he will be in the same position. Now he has to compete with others.
My lord.
At that point of time also he would have had to compete with others, not having qualified in the first round.
My lord.
So if that is there cannot be any grievance.
I'll come back with the instruction. My lord.
But then if there is 1 or 2,
My lord.
then there is a chance of further aggrievement.
But I'm appearing
Thursday.
I'm appearing for district council, my lord. Our only concern that they are there occupying the post, my lord. They passed several judicial orders, my lord, and they are there for 3.5 years, and there is no allegation, my lord. That is what learned single judge has also referred, of any nepotism or any irregularity in the selection process, my lord. They clearly qualified the exam, my lord. They are qualified candidates. It is not that there was any kind of nepotism or any irregularity in the examination process, my lord. The only grievance is that appointment were beyond the number of vacancies, my lord. So learned single judge referred to very recent Supreme Court decision, my lord, rendered by Justice Chandrachud, that judicial officers, it is not in public interest to unseat a judicial officers who have been serving for some time, my lord.
It was 9 years in that case.
In fact, there are 2 decisions, my lord, in that line. And his grievance, my lord, he participated, my lord. If it was a case that he is waiting for the post to be advertised in future, but he participates, my lord. He does not qualify the written exam also, my lord.
See, in this IAS examination,
My
this
lord.
UPSC,
My lord.
people participate 20 times
That's true.
from the age of 21, 22.
There is no embargo, my lord. That if I failed the last time, I cannot pass the next time. But other than that, was the larger issue, the manner in which this entire thing is done, my lords. 5 are available, you choose to advertise 3. Subsequently, my lords, some post which is non-existent, you fill it up from a waiting list, my lords, which, as per law, otherwise stands exhausted.
I'll come back with this. If there are 3 posts, my lord.
What my learned friend is...
If there are 3 posts, it is all right.
My lord.
Even if there are not, you are saying there are 2.
My lord.
Like subject to my brother's concurrence, and is only a very prima facie
My lord.
observation that suppose he succeeds. We have only heard it tentatively.
My lord.
Suppose he succeeds. We can observe this, start a selection process. If he is number 3, 2 are vacant, 3 you create a supernumerary post
My
and
lord.
take him.
My lord. We can
Finished?
do that. We'll do that.
But if 3 are vacant, there is no problem.
My lord.
Otherwise, we have to say that you have to create a supernumerary post for him.
I'm obliged.
If he is number 3 in the fresh selection process.
My lord.
So we keep it on Thursday.
Thursday.
We have heard this appeal at some length. List this appeal for further. Hearing on 2/8 June 2023. At the top as a partnered matter.
2/6, my lord. 26.
6 June. 28th would be Saturday.
Oh, Thursday 2/6
My lord.
26.